don't wait on me. I ain't waiting on nobody. Sorry. We're gonna get started because we have a lot to handle and touch, and I want to get off at a decent time tonight. I need a lash fill too. Brianna, you see what's going on? What's going on here? So, with that being said, we have been going through so many different things, and I'm really praying that y'all are praying for me because I feel so tired right now. Like if I closed my eyes, I probably would fall asleep like this. But I want to talk about something that's super important and to any entrepreneur, it's very important. If you're going to grow in entrepreneurship, Chanel, you sent that message?
Yes, I did.
Immediate removal starting tonight because I don't know. Um, so with that being said, I want to talk about something that's super important to every entrepreneur, to every entrepreneur. It's very important to every entrepreneur. And I want to start talking about it tonight. Um, so let me know in the comment section if y'all are ready. If you have your pen, paper out, you're ready to learn, you're ready to grow, you're ready to take notes. You didn't come on here to waste time. You didn't come on here to spectate. You didn't come on here to see what's going on and who's who and what's happening. And I'm telling you, that type of energy keep people broke. I'm trying to tell y'all. That's the type of stuff that does not put money in the pocket. I'm trying to tell y'all. I'm trying to tell Cheyenne, you know what I'm talking about. That messy spirit, I don't know what I'm picking up on here tonight. Oh God, I ain't come on here to wreck or nothing, but Jesus, I don't know what I'm picking up. I don't know what I'm picking up, but that type of stuff don't keep money in pockets or clients in the business. All of that, like, oh, saying what online and who's fighting who and who coming against who and what this so and so saying. Let me go watch the so and so live. Be mindful of that energy. And I'm so serious. Be very, very mindful. Because I'm telling you, it's that type of stuff that I'm telling you, I've seen it with my own eyes. Every time I know somebody that acts like that or move like that, they don't be having no money. Have you ever seen a messy person rich? Really ask yourself that. Like sit and ask yourself, have you ever seen a messy person get money? Because usually they're spending most of their time worried about other people. And they never get to accomplish nothing for themselves. Oh God. Oh God. Somebody said this is my season to mind my business and get to my bag. We not in the bag. Like I feel like we need to be. You know what I'm saying? Like we too busy scrolling, we too busy, and I really want to drop names, but I'm not gonna do that because I ain't messy. But y'all on so and so live, and y'all on this one live, and who said who, and what they going on, and let me go watch this, and let me see what's the latest tea, and let me see, like no, right, Jessica? It's time to mind your business and mind the business that pay you. Okay. Oh God. It's time to mind business that pay. If the business that you're in isn't paying you, that's the wrong business. Ooh, ooh. If the business you're in is not paying you, you're in the wrong business. I can see if was messy and the messiness was making money, but still I wouldn't be condoning it. But if that was the case, We wasting too much time. We in too many people's faces. We in too many people beef. Y'all want somebody to call y'all with the tea and that type of stuff. I'm telling you, no, baby, call somebody else, but don't call me. You and Ray and whoever else, y'all gotta handle that somewhere else. I'm busy making my money. Oh God. Can I tell y'all 90? Let me tell y'all something. We talked about time a long time ago. We did a session on and a strategy call on timing. My whole day is consumed of my purpose to the point where I don't have time. I woke up today, did what I had to do, went straight to the office, did my staff meeting because I'm a marketing director over my whole church, did the staff meeting, presented, did what I had to do, came by the time that ended, that started at 10, it ended around 3:30. By the time I got home, it was around 4. I sat down for maybe like 5 minutes, went live straight on TikTok, was on live for TikTok for what, an hour? Got off TikTok, did about 20 one-on-ones, and came straight on here. That's my whole day. Where's the time to scroll? Where's the time to be on the phone? I just told you I didn't even talk to my own fiance today. On the phone. We texted, but we ain't talking on the phone. Because our whole day is consumed of purpose. As a woman, your whole day, I can't stand a woman that's like geeked over her man. I can't stand it. I can't. I just can't. I can't do it. I can't do it. I refuse to. I refuse. You mean to tell me your whole day you trying to figure out what he doing, where he at, what he doing? Why? Let's get on the phone, call him. Let me tell you something. That type of energy right there is the reason why girls be broke and be reliant on a man to pay their bills. Ain't nothing wrong with that, glory to God. But let's rewind some things here. That type of stuff right there, No, 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 no. I don't care if you married. I don't care if you engaged. I don't care if you a girlfriend. I don't care if you a friend. I don't care if y'all talking. I don't care if y'all getting to know each other. When a woman is always available, what does that say about you? Look at Mama Levette. Mama Levette, no, I'm telling the truth. Mama Levette, no. Mama, you will tell me if I'm wrong. Your whole day consumed of your man? Is he worried that much about you? Oh God. Oh God. Oh God. I just broke something right there, Brianna. Jesus. We got to get it together. We can't waste no more time. That's what I'm trying to get to. Proverbs 31, she was a busy, booked woman, but productive. She did real estate, fashion. She had a team. She knew how to sew. She knew how to cook. She knew how to trade. What are you doing? Talking about let me scroll on TikTok. You have that much time to scroll? This is why and then we want to pray and say, God, give financial breakthrough. And God looking at you like, but you just spent 3 hours scrolling on TikTok. You didn't even read a book today. You ain't learn about no wealth skills. You didn't perfect any of your business acumen. So why are you praying and asking God for a um 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 breakthrough in your money? Even when I was on the phone with my mother, she's just going on, going on. She's talking about things going on right now. It's like my mind, I've mentally prepared, I've mentally trained my mind, y'all, that even when people call me and it's like on some stuff or they're venting, like respectfully, I'm listening, but I'm not. I just, my mom on the phone, because my mom know me. She like, daughter, are you working while I'm talking to you? I said, yes, I got things to do. I I got things to do. I'm listening, but I got things to do. I told my mom, unless you gonna wire me 6K, we ain't got nothing to talk about right now. I got a conference I'm planning. I got clients I'm working out. And this is respectfully. I said, whatever you need, I'll send it. But right now, I'm busy. At the end of the conversation, she said all she had to say because she's dealing with something on her job. I said, Mom, you don't even gotta worry about a job for real because I'm about to retire you anyways. Hello. Okay, y'all quiet on here. I said, she talking about, oh, my job let me go, da 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 da. She venting, crying, upset. I said, oh my God. I'm literally listening. I'm like, I needed this conversation because it just gave me a boost on why I need to work harder. Thank you, Mom. Thank you, Mom. And then at the end of the conversation, I said, Mom, I'm gonna retire you. She like, that's nice and all, but I need a job. I'm like, oh God, okay, I gotta go. I said, I gotta go. I said, I gotta go. I got money to make. I got things to do. You draining my energy. I gotta go. Y'all see what I'm saying though? It's time to lock in. I needed that conversation because I needed a refresher of my why. Every time my mom calls me, and I'm learning and I'm working this out in therapy, y'all. But I'm learning because every time I talk to my family, it's like a remind. It's like I don't like talking sometimes because it's like it frustrates me because I want to help them so bad. So sometimes I don't really like talking to them because it's like, dang, they got so many issues and problems, and it's like I want to fix it. So sometimes when I talk to them, it drains my energy, not in the standpoint of like getting tired, but in the standpoint of like getting sad in a way. And so my mom talking, I'm like, oh God, like I gotta guard my spirit today. I gotta guard my heart. I gotta guard my mind because I really want to help. And it frustrates me when I can't help when like today. You get what I'm saying? Like it frustrates me when I'm like, dang, like she venting and talking about money and this and the third. I'm like, ugh, like I just want to fix it. You get what I'm saying? Like I just want to write the check. I just want to Zelle the money. I just want to wire her. I just want to take care of her, right? But I need those phone calls, and so do y'all, because it's a reminder. It's a reminder to all of us of what we need to be doing, right? It's a reminder of all of us of what we need to be doing. So, with that being said, stop wasting time. That was the all I was trying to say. Can't waste no more time. No more time. Time can no longer be wasted. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Nope. Mm-mm. So everybody take out your pen and paper. We're gonna go get started. Everybody take out your pen and paper. We're gonna get started. No problem, Kirsten. Take out pen and paper. We're gonna get started. How many people is ready to build a seven-figure business? Raise your hand. Or your virtual hand. I got two of the same books. Oh no, these are two different. If you're ready to scale your business to seven figures, raise your hand. You want to build $1 million business, raise your hand. Now ask yourself, everybody that raised their hand, great. Now ask yourself, what am I doing on a daily basis to do that? You got to ask yourself, okay, I know I want to build a seven-figure business, but what am I doing? What am I doing to do that on a daily basis. Okay, so let's get started. Let's get started. Sell. I want to talk today about sales. If you don't know how to sell, that's why you're broke. Write it down. Write it down. Just write it down. Just write it down. I remember, y'all, I was building my business. This is in 2020, 2021. I was building my business, my first business, my coaching business. And I was losing so many deals. I would never forget this guy reached out to me. This was my first five-figure deal I ever could close, right? This was my first five-figure contract or whatever. And I remember this man asked me whatever to present in front of his board. And the deal was like for like 30,000. It was my first big deal like that. And so I get on the call, y'all. When I even think about it today, like I was like 20 years old, maybe 21 at the time. And epic fail. Say it like that. Epic fail. All because I did not study. It was in that moment I was making money, but it was that next level that God wanted to bring me into in terms of wealth. And because I failed that sales call, right, where we were going to close the deal, everything, they did not go through with it because honestly, looking back, I fumbled that sales presentation. It was terrible. Didn't really know what I was doing. And I remember I said, "Oh my gosh, I'm going to be stuck if I don't learn sales." I was at a bottleneck in my business, in my company, because I did not master the skill set. Write that down. Sales is a skill. Let me go turn on my light because it's getting dark. Write that down. Sales is a skill. And if you don't master the skill set, sales is a skill. I love sales so much. I have some of my favorite sales books here that I'm looking at. I love sales because once I took that L for 1 year, y'all, one whole year, I studied sales. Every day for 1 hour, I would watch a video on sales. I even joined a sales team just to master the muscle. So we would do role playing and acting like, handling sale objectives and objections. And we did all of that. And I did that for a straight year to the point where I was doing sales calls just to see can I close a deal, just to see. And so sales is a skill. It's a skill. You have to learn the skill. You have to learn the skill. And within sales, there's a lot of compartments, and we're going to go through it. But I realized that you can have a good product, you can have a good service. And we talk about this. Eyes and attention is good. Engagement and attention is the first aspect when we talk about the marketing funnel that you need to master in order to even sell your product. But once you attract a lead into your business, the next part is closing the lead. So attracting the lead is one thing, but selling to the lead is another. Many of y'all have attracted people to your business, but you have not closed them and they have not become a client or a customer. It's not because the product is bad. It's not because you ugly. It's not because you fat. It's not because you skinny. It's not because of none of those things. It's because they don't know about the product, number one. And number two, you never sold to them. Somebody put this in the comment section, say this out your mouth. I can sell anything I put my mind to. Sales is not about transactions. Think about this. This is Ooh, this is too good. Sales is not about transactions, it's about transformation. I'm not selling you features. Typically, when people sell something, let's look at this bottle Saratoga water, right? I don't like this one. I like Mountain Valley, but they didn't have it at Whole Foods, so I had to settle for this. And y'all know I don't drink plastic water. So, Saratoga, Saratoga, right? We have a bottle of water, the bottle of water. And I have to sell this. Now watch this. The perceived value on this bottle is what I make it. If I want to sell this for $50, oh, best believe I can. Would that person buy it for 50? Not if they're not the ideal client. There's always a client. Oh, this is too good today. There will always be an ideal client. Because $50 for water to you may be expensive, but to a multimillionaire, they don't care. And if the water is solving a problem that they need solved, they're going to buy it. So if I want to sell you this water, I'm not selling you that it's a blue bottle. This is where people go wrong. They get on a sales call and they start talking about the features. Oh, well, it's blue, it's glass, it's nice, it's pretty. That's nice, but what can it do for me if you want my money? People start selling they conference. Like right now, we in conference mode right now. I'm not gonna sell that it's a 3 day conference and we have even the speakers who are coming. That's nice. Speakers coming, the look, what's going on, that's all nice and all. But that's not going to sell people. You have to sell the result. Don't sell the feature. Never do that. You always sell the result. Never sell the product. Sell the result. Sell the transformation. How is this going to change this person's life? All right? So it's not about um transaction, it's about transformation. So sales is about stewarding solutions, number 1. When I sell a product, I'm solving a problem. When I sell a product, I'm solving a problem. Number 2, when I sell a product, I'm answering someone's prayer. When I sell a product, I'm answering someone's prayer. And number 3, when I sell a product, I'm becoming a connector between someone's problem and God's provision for me. So you got to understand that selling is about transformation. Now, the first part of sales is this: I have to have a winning product. Write this down. Too many of us, we don't have winning products. And watch this, and I say this a lot to you guys, we have too many products. Way too many. Way too many products, way too many services. So you need to create a product that has a repeatable result. All of that, how many of you guys have a service-based business? Raise your hand or put a 1 in the chat. You serve a service. You serve serve. You sell a service. Put a 1 in the chat or raise your hand. You sell a service. You sell a service. So if I'm selling you a service, and I want everybody to get a service-based business. I don't care if you have a product. You need to get a service because I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't want to say what I want to say, but it's easier to scale quicker with a service-based business than it is with products. Unless you selling like as a female, unless you're selling like health products, beauty products, and even that is like, and when I say beauty, I mean like things that girls and women don't mind paying a lot of money for at one time, which is like hair and stuff like that. Bundles, exactly. See, wigs, yeah, like they drop five, six, seven, eight, $900 in one pop and don't care. Unless you doing something like that, which is considered high ticket, then you need a service. All right, you need a service. So you need to turn something into a service. And it cannot be, this is where a lot of people go wrong too. Every time somebody comes into your business, you're giving them a custom service. You can't scale that way. Because if 50 people came into your business at one time, you wouldn't be able to get everybody a repeatable result. So if 50 people come into your business and every person that comes in, you're giving them a different product, a different list of things, like you're customizing basically what they get. Like, you know how people, like you do consulting, coaching, whatever, and you're like, okay, I'm gonna give you this, and this. I'm gonna customize this for you, and I'm gonna do. You don't want to do that because again, that's not repeatable. Not repeatable. So you want to remove all custom one-off solutions, and instead you want to create repeatable results. Next, you want to build a clear way of them getting the result, which is what we call a framework or a methodology. So, for example, if my end goal is to help somebody lose weight, and that's the result I want to sell, I have to figure out a repeatable way for somebody to lose weight with a clear way of them doing it. That is a standardized process that no matter who come to me, no matter how much they weigh, no matter who they are, they're getting the same process and they're getting the same end result. It doesn't matter if I go to McDonald's in Chicago, New York, California, or even Tokyo, Japan, I'm going to get the same result. It doesn't matter if you work at a McDonald's in Tokyo, Japan, um, Egypt, or America, they're going to give you the same training. It doesn't change because we're in a different country. It doesn't change because you're maybe 20 and this person's 50. It does not change. It's the same process with the same result. So you have to build a clear framework on how to get people the same result. And you have to make sure it's easy to explain, it's easy to sell, and it's easy to deliver. So you have to build a package. You have to build something where there's a result, it's repeatable, it's a productized service with a clear way of getting the result, which is a framework or a method on how to get it. And you have to name your process. So people don't just buy your product, like I said, they buy outcomes. So you must believe in your offer more than they believe in their excuses. Because I don't care who I don't care who it is, everybody going to have an excuse. Unless because what usually separates the buyer from saying yes is usually them not trusting you or trusting in your product or your service. So write this down. This is 4 steps everybody needs to take when selling a product. If you do this, you can sell a car, you can sell a house, you can sell a bottle like this, you can sell your hair. I'm telling you, I'm about to give y'all the Krabby Patty formula. I'm about to give y'all the Krabby Patty formula. Like I'm literally about to give y'all realty, like realness. That if you do this, I'm telling you, I'm even scared to give this to y'all because it's just that good. Number one, if you do this in any sales call, anything you do selling, you're going to sell. With beyond the shadow of a doubt, you're going to sell. So number one, this is what you do. Number one, say I get on the phone with somebody, I want to sell them my service and it's $30,000. First thing I need to do with that person, What is some, okay, let me ask this question before I even go. If I get on a call with somebody who wants to buy my product or service, what is the first thing I do? Let's see. I'm about to call on someone. Brittany, go ahead. And then I'm gonna call on somebody else. What do you think the first thing is that I do on a sales call? If I'm gonna sell a product to somebody and we already went through like the hi, how are you doing? Okay, great. You know, X, Y, and Z. What is the first thing I'm doing?
Would you give them your spiel of like your, you know how they had a 10-second thing, what you do and how you do it to start to sell, go into the transformation?
Absolutely not. No, 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 no. But good try, Brittany. Good try. Y'all clap for Brittany.
Thank you.
See, because you know, it's that's why y'all don't like going, because yeah. Mama Levette, love you. Mama Levette, what do you think is the first thing I should do? What is the first thing I should do when I get on a sales call with somebody? Let's see if Mama Levette even go.
Build a rapport?
Build a rapport? No,
No. Okay.
no, no, no. Nope, no, not results. Not how can I help you today? Nah. Brianna, let's see Brianna, billionaire B.
Man, I knew you was about to call on me. So I would say, would you like ask them questions? Like ask them what are their like what do they expect, or just see if you can get some more information.
No. Okay, here we go. All right, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Somebody write this down. A sales funnel. I need to get a chalkboard or a whiteboard or something because I need it. Um, write down a sales funnel. Before the person, see, this is why I know people ain't making money. Before the person come on the call, they should already know who you are, what they're getting themselves into. You not selling on the call for real. You're just closing the deal. That means most of my qualifying, that's what we call this qualifying, I do before the call. So the first things first is I figure out all like the questions and like all of that. I have a two-step process of how I do this. Number one, when somebody inquires on my services, the first thing they get is a first form, which is them just basic stuff, name, you know, what's your business? What do you need? You know, what we offer. They click all the stuff. If I see they're not my ideal client from that first form, I'm not even wasting my time. If they move on to the next qualification phase of the process, which is now one of my sales reps getting on a WhatsApp chat with you, and we have a form in a process, nothing changes, but we're asking the client the same questions every time. This one is a little bit more deeper now to see if you actually can get on a call to close the deal. So that call more so is I actually have this somewhere. Matter of fact, wait a minute. This may be y'all blessed day because I actually wrote this out somewhere. I gotta find it. Because right now I'm going off of my mind, but I actually have this somewhere like as a presentation. Um, if they get to you on the WhatsApp qualification, is because they actually qualify to be a client. So, the first step is we're on the call with them. We're trying to figure things out. Okay, cool. I mean, what am I saying? I'm distracted. Hold on. So they fill out the form. Second phase is they get on the sales rep chat with my sales rep. We ask them more deeper questions now, so more so about their time, about what they're looking for, and if they're ready to invest. And we tell them before they get on the call how much the service is. So off rip, if you're not ready, we're not gonna waste our time. Like you just didn't make it. Amen. God bless you. So that's literally what we're trying to figure out. We're trying to see if that makes sense. So we have a They say they click the link in my bio, say they found me on YouTube, they click the link, they go through the application phase. That's phase one. Phase two is the WhatsApp qualification phase. And then phase three is the discovery call phase, which is now the closing. You close them, you present the solution, the offer, and you close them. That's when we get on Zoom. So no one should even get on a phone with some of y'all unless they're your client, your ideal client. So on the call, I'm not building a connection. I'm not telling them about my results. That you should know that before you even book a call. Right? You should know me. There should have been that trust. That's that sales funnel. The first part of that sales funnel is building a connection with the ideal client. So it's like building trust with them. You're nurturing the relationship, right? So that first phase is the client getting to know you. So we have that two step, that three step, excuse me, qualification phase. To see if they even worth your time. It's very, very, very important that you guys have those steps in that in your funnel so that you are attracting the right clients to get on a sales call with you. So the first step is always you're attracting the client, you're qualifying the client, you're nurturing the client, so you're building trust and authority with them. So that's by content, going live, doing calls, building a community, that type of stuff. You're warming them. And then they go through that qualification phase. All right. Now, Cheyenne, I am going to give you a nugget because you did get the next one right. Once I get them on a call, the first thing I say to them is I set the tone of the call. I've closed big contracts telling y'all exactly what I'm telling you guys. I've closed some big deals doing exactly what I'm telling y'all to do. Person get on a call, hey, how are you? Yes, ha ha, he he. Thank you so much for coming on. Amen. Glory to God. Let's go. Boom. Once we get through all of that, how's mom? How's dad? How's your husband? How your wife? How your kids? You know, the basic stuff. My next leading thing, number one, write this down. Always take the lead on the call. Never let the client talk so much when it comes to the aspect of them taking control over your sales call. So the first thing I'm doing is I'm setting the tone for the call. That's the first thing I'm doing. How do I do that? I'm telling them what they're about to get themselves into on this call. Hey, thank you for coming on the call. You know, on this call, we're going to be talking about X, Y, and Z. You know, I'm going to present to you my offer and we're going to close the deal at the end of the call if you actually want to move forward. That's what I tell them. It's that simple. The first thing I ask them now is I have to figure out their biggest problem. What you do on a sales call is you build a bridge. You figure out their problem first. So once I set the tone, then my next follow-up question is once they say you need to get them to say yes, because it's psychology. So I said, do you understand? They say yes. I said, okay, do you know at the end of the call, I'm going to present to you my offer and you know how much the offer is, right? Okay, yes. Okay, great. Let's move forward. Now, my next follow-up question is, what is your biggest challenge right now in X, Y, and Z? So if I'm helping a person lose weight, my next follow-up question is, what is the biggest challenge that's stopping you from losing weight right now? If I'm going to ask that person to help them build a business, or a coaching program or whatever, my next follow up is something about a challenge. What I'm trying to do now is I'm trying to agitate the problem that they have and bring it back to the forefront of their mind. So I'm agitating their current pain. I'm trying to figure out where are they currently at. I'm trying to figure out where are they currently at. What is the biggest challenge you're facing? What is the biggest problem you're facing? How has it affected you? The whole 9 yards. Now, there have been some calls I've done this and people literally start crying right here. Like it'd be so bad. Because you're agitating their pain. If you're providing a real solution to somebody, they have a real problem. So you start to agitate the pain. You start to figure out where they currently are at. The next thing is you figure out where they want to go. So now this is where you start to cast their vision for them. So you ask them, where are you at? Then you say, okay, well, where do you want to go? How many pounds do you want to be? You know, where do you want to go with the money or whatever whatever you're solving, whatever your business is. You're trying to figure out the vision now. What's their dream? What's their goal? What's their end goal? So you figure out where they're at, you figure out where they want to go, and then the bridge is your program, your service, your offer, your solution. How are they going to get there? So you figure out where are they at, where do they want to go, and you're presenting to them in between the two, the bridge, which is how are they going to get there? Okay, so example, say my content agency, for example. Say I get on the phone with a dentist office and they've been having a lack of lead generation through content, visual content, and they lack social media presence, which is affecting their clientele at the office. It's a bunch of problems I just named, but there's really one big issue. So, as the sales consultant, as the CEO of my company, I'm not going to go through every problem with the person. My job is to be a good listener as a sales rep, as a CEO, and hear the biggest problem. Well, Cash, we don't have social media presence. That's a problem. We don't have this, but there's always an overarching, there's always something that's really the issue. Someone can have a bunch of symptoms and that can be painful, but there's always a root. So my job as a CEO is to get to the root of the problem. Oh, so the root of the problem is all of this is happening, Dr. So and so. Let's say his name was Dr. Ben. Dr. Ben, all of these things are happening, but the real issue that I'm hearing is that you guys are losing money. Yes. Oh my, like the light bulb. Oh my gosh. Yes. Like we haven't been on social media. We haven't been posting. We haven't been doing any of that. We're honestly just using ads, but we understand that we're in a digital age. Content is popping. We need content. We know that's going to help our brand. It's going to help our image and it's going to make us more money. So how much money, Dr. Ben, do you think you're losing because you don't have content? Well, that's a good question, Cash. Right now we're making about 300,000 a month. But if we begin to post content, I believe we can probably go to like 550. Okay, Dr. Ben, so you're at 300, but if you added content, you'll go to about 550. Yeah. So basically you're telling me because you don't have content, you're losing 250,000 a month. They start to see like in their minds, like, oh my gosh. Because what am I doing? I'm creating a gap. And I need the client to tangibly see what they're missing. Oh my gosh, yeah, like we're missing 250,000. And when they say it, oh forget it. They ready to close. Once they say what their problem is and that you identified it, why wouldn't they close the deal? Because now, if they don't close, what's really the issue? When you out of your mouth just told me you're losing 250K a month. See, when you start to talk like that on the calls, that's when it's like, oosh, you're losing 300 million a year in revenue, Dr. Ben. Oh my gosh. And then it's just like silent. It's like, it's just, you just be quiet. You just let it soak. Wow. You may be a relationship coach or consultant, and you get on the call with one of your clients, and you're like, so what's the biggest issue? Well, me and my husband, we're fighting every day. You know, we're not making love. We haven't touched each other in months, and all of these things. But honestly, the biggest problem is I feel like I'm losing my husband. Because they could be say all of the da 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 da, but really, what's the biggest? Oh, well, I feel like I'm losing my marriage. Okay, well, you feel like you're losing your marriage. Well, what do you want your marriage to look like then? Well, I would want it to look like this, 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 this. I want us to be married for a long time. We only been married for like 6 years. So you tell me that y'all not touching each other, y'all not loving each other, y'all not really talking, but then you say you want to be married for a long time. So what do you think is missing? Well, I think honestly, I personally don't, and then they start venting whatever, and then you just again you're listening. Well, I honestly think I've been so busy with my when they start saying keywords, because you want to listen to keywords. When you on the sales call, you gotta hear keywords. Well, I've been, oh, so you've been busy. Okay. So how many, because when you start thinking about busyness, what you always want to do as a CEO on a sales call, you want to talk numbers. I don't care if you a relationship coach, business coach, finance coach, credit consultant, fashion advisor. What else they got? They got so many things now. I don't even know what else. I don't care if you a hairstylist, nail tech, makeup artist, lash tech. I don't care what you. If you figure out numbers, so then you got to start asking now logistics. Okay, so how many hours a week are you spending on yourself? Well, I only spend about maybe 3 hours. Oh my gosh, 3 hours. There's 24 hours in a day. So how many hours were you spending with your husband? Chanel, look at me. How many hours were you spending with your husband? Oh my gosh. Then they start to think like, I haven't been spending much. 24 hours in a day. So that means 18 of those hours was going to what? Then they like, oh my gosh. You always gotta bring the client to the breakthrough moment. We're not talking features. Have I mentioned features about what I'm selling at all? I haven't even talked about my product yet. I haven't even talked about my product yet. I haven't mentioned it. Ooh, this is good tonight. If somebody catch this, I promise you gonna get rich. If you catch this, you gonna get rich. Selling will never be hard again. Well, wow, 18 hours. You're right. That's why my marriage, it's not even about us not making love. I don't spend time with him. Exactly. And then you just be quiet. That's what did I just did it with the I we can do this all night. Y'all can give me the examples. I could do it all night. Oh my gosh, Cynthia, you 350 pounds, but you want to be 250? So what you doing? How many calories you? Well, I am eating this, that, and the third all day. I eat 5 meals a day and I eat after 8 p.m. And how does that make you feel? Well, I don't feel like myself anymore. I just feel like I've lost myself. But what does your dream body look like? Like I want to be slim, BBL looking, da 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 da. And it's like, okay. So what are you doing to get there right now? Well, I don't. I just work and I don't really spend time. But you said you just wanted a dream body? What did you eat yesterday? Well, I had McDonald's. And you just be quiet right there. Just be quiet right there. I would never, y'all write this book down. One of my favorite books about sales. It's called Never Split the Difference. Go get the digital book on YouTube. I have it on YouTube. It's an FBI agent who had to interview people like out of like say for example there was a robber in a building he was going to kill everybody like his job was to interview the man not to kill the people in like situations. And he goes through oh my gosh, what help you in sales tremendously. Sales is very psychological. I'm glad somebody said it. It really is. Not manipulative, but it's very psychological. You have to get to the root of people's problems. And a lot of people will bring you around this merry-go-round and cycle in conversation, but honestly, you just have to get to the root of the problem and you have to keep the main thing the main thing. The main thing is not all of these symptoms, it's the root of the problem. So I'm agitating their problem, I'm seeing where they want to go, and I'm building a bridge. Now, the bridge is this. Once they tell you their problem, and after that dramatic pause every time, what you then do is, and see, this is a perfect example right here. A part of my business is sales. I have to train people in sales. I have to do sales. A large part of my business is sales, period, which is every business. If I want to build a team, I can't do sales differently every time. If I want to retire from my business, if I want to sell my company later in life, I have to have a repeatable sales process. So the reason why I'm able to tell y'all my sales process without even like looking at notes or nothing like that is because I've done it so many times and I get the same result every single time that I can train y'all on how to do it. And when I train my team shouldn't be doing it differently every single time. So now you build the bridge, which is how do they get there? Okay, so Cynthia, I see you are at 350 pounds and you want to get to 250. So that means we got to lose about like over 100 pounds. And you want to do it in the next year. So this is what I have. I have my program called Pounds to Success. I don't know. And it's a year. We do X, Y, and Z. By the end of the program, you're going to be mentally better, physically stronger, and we're going to work to help you get your dream body. It's going to take this amount of time. Basically we have coaching calls. We do one in-person training every month. That's when I actually start to tell them now about what they're buying. But I don't do that we went through all of that just to get here. Now I'm bridging the gap because now I have to tell you my process. So I have my process. It is called the da 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 method. And basically, all of my students and my clients have used this method. It's the same method. You're going to use it. and it's going to get you the result that you want to get. It's going to take a year. If you do everything we tell you, you're going to lose the weight and you're going to look the way you want to look by the end of the day. All right? Does that make sense? Yeah, that's perfect. Da 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 da. Okay, cool. Um, Once we do that, the last part of the sale. So we talked about the problem, we talked about the vision, the goal, and we talked about the bridge. The last part is what? How much is it? Oh, well, okay. So all of that I just named is just $15,000. After you name the price, you don't say a word. You don't start trying to convince. You just wait. It's $15,000. And you make sure you say it loud. And you always say it's just. The investment for all that I just said is just $15,000. Now, this could either go two ways right here. This is what we call the split. Y'all ready? This can go two ways. After you name that price, it goes two ways. Either boom, great, how do I get started? You either gonna get that response, and usually that response is quick. That response come out usually if they have it, they either gonna say, okay, great, how do I get started? And if that's the case, which I'm praying it is for all of us, is you always send them the invoice on the phone. Or you say if it's too much money, say you got a 6-figure deal. If it's a client, if it's a company, they may send a check. That's how that goes. But if it's a client or even like a doctor or something like that, private owned office, things like that, they usually gonna wire you. So you have your wire information ready for your business bank account and you send it to them on the phone. You say, hey, it's 15,000. Maybe you like, okay, but we only need 20% to get started. Chanel, what's 20% of 15K? That's 3,000. So boom, it's 3,000 to start. You may have a person though that says, I'm ready to pay in full. If you just gotta weigh the person and see where they at when you say 15. If they making faces, da da da, then you say, okay, well, it's only 15. But then if they not, and like, you ready? Okay, boom, and they like, I can pay in full, then just let them pay in full. Don't even say nothing. Because you want your money up front. That's the goal. Now, they one that's like, okay, yeah, I could do it, but I need a payment plan. That's when you start to say, okay, 20% down, and then we could break the rest up into 3 payments. That's when you go into that. Now, so there's 3 ways. It's either they pay in full, it's either they pay, but they need a payment plan. Or number 3, third option is they have objections. You want to master objection handling. Objections may say, I need time. Now, let me say this. Any objection that somebody brings to you is usually not an objection. It's a smoke mirror. So they may say, I'd have to think about it. When somebody say that to me, I always tell them, what are you thinking about when you just told me you're losing $300,000 a month? What are you thinking about when you're broke? You ain't think about it before you got on the call. And this is where you got to start being real with people. I know, but I just, I gotta talk it over with my husband. No problem to Leah. I gotta talk over okay, so when that happens, I'm like, okay, so where's your husband right now? I could bring him on the call. I could do the whole sales call over. We could do it together. I literally have said things like this before. Oh, well, matter of fact, I don't get paid till Friday. Oh, you know what? I just don't have the time. You don't have time to lose weight? You don't have time to make money? You don't have time to build your business? You don't have time to restore your marriage. So why did you get on the call then? Well, it's not that I don't have time. It's honestly it's just too much money. I can't afford that. But you can afford to stay broke. But you can afford to stay big. But you can afford to stay, like these are the things you got to say. With objections, you have to face the objection and be realistic. Never, ever, ever, unless it's absolutely like you handle every objection and they're still not budging, then just let them go. But usually, I've done objections and I always get the person to buy. Always. Because usually it's not real. They're making something up because usually they're afraid to invest. They don't believe in themselves because business takes work. And if you're investing that type of money, you want to make sure that you're actually going to put in the work. So oftentimes, even when it comes to losing weight, when it comes to restoring your relationship, when it comes to becoming a better version of yourself, that takes work. And a lot of people are afraid that once they hear that price, like 10,000, oh my gosh, I don't know if I am going to be able to get that back. Because what they want to know is the return on investment. So you just begin to handle all of the objections, right? You don't sell to anyone, you just sell to qualified leads only. So you got to use application processes, you got to pre-screen, you got to get their commitment level, their financial readiness. So there's no consult. You have to have a no consult without application policy. If you don't fill out application, I cannot consult with you. So you're qualifying them, and then you're becoming the expert. You're prescribing them. You're not pitching them. You're diagnosing them, which is in the beginning, right? When we talk about the problem and your adjective, then you prescribe them their medicine, which is your solution, and then you invite them into your program or whatever you have going on. It could be a book, it could be a coaching program, it could be a consulting offer, whatever. You don't beg, you don't barter, and you never lower your price. You stand in authority. Based upon everything you shared with me, Bobby, I'd love to invite you into my coaching program. This is the exact container to help you overcome not making enough money in your business and to get you to where you have to be, which is like 20,000 a month. So with all of that, I just said the investment is going to be 15,000. And this includes X, Y, and Z. We're going to get on calls bi-weekly for the next 6 months. And I'm going to help you scale your business with all of the information that I just shared with you. So do you want to lock in your spot today? Right. So, number one, what a lot of y'all have to do, and again, let me say this, objections. When somebody has an objection, they're still in the game. If they say time, they don't see the priority of what you're offering. If they say money, they don't believe in the value. If they say, oh, it's too expensive, they don't see it's valuable enough. Because anybody that sees value, they don't care how much it is. If they say time is the issue, they don't see this as a priority. If they say they need to talk to their spouse, they don't feel safe enough to decide on their own. So that means you have to reframe the objection back to the result. Always reframe the objection. This is how you close anybody. Always reframe the objection back to the result they said they wanted. Well, you told me that this has been holding you back for 2 years. What changes if you wait another 6 months? Always reframe the objection. All right. And you always want to bring back the ROI, the return on investment back to them. So it's like if I help you get to $3,000 a month, from 3,000 to 10,000 a month in 90 days, isn't that worth a $2,500 investment? Or would you rather remain stuck and just keep making the same money you've been making? So you always want to trigger and you want to get them to think about what decision they're making, right? And if it's making sense. Cuz a lot of times the client it's like it's smoke screens. I just told y'all literally everything. So this is and this is what's homework tonight, and I haven't given y'all homework in a minute. But I want everybody to figure out what are they going to sell and who are you going to sell to? What are you going to sell and who are you going to sell to? Everybody in here needs to get a winning service, not a product, a service. Are you going to help somebody make content? Are you going to help somebody get a husband? Are you going to help somebody lose weight? Are you going to help somebody feel better about themselves? Like, are you a life coach? Are you a consultant? And how are you going to do that? And if you already like, well, nobody going to invest in that type of service for me, then automatically you ain't going to make it. Because you automatically took yourself out the game because you don't see the value in yourself. If you good at makeup, beauty, hair, you need to figure out some type of service to help people in that industry. If you're good at food, you need to figure out something in that industry. There is an industry, there is a problem that needs to be solved, and your job as an entrepreneur is to figure out a problem that needs to be solved that you want to solve and that you can make a lot of money doing it. I know people that's doing, y'all will be surprised the people I know that's doing business and what they're doing business doing, and they're making a lot of money. Like they're making a lot of money. So you got to ask yourself, what problem am I going to solve and how am I going to solve it? Um so that's homework for everybody, all right? That's homework for everybody because we have to figure this out so we can go to that next level in wealth. Right? We got to figure it out so that we can go to this next level. You got to, and if a lot of you are like, well, what am I going to solve? Just look at your life. Look at what you overcame. What have you overcome in life? What have you mastered in your life? Like Mama Levette to me is one of the greatest moms I know. I think she's an amazing mother. And I think a lot of other mothers can learn from her. I think like I feel like she can do that if she wanted to. I think Brianna is one of the greatest executors I know. She's highly gifted, so gifted. But a lot of people have a hard time executing their gift. And I think she has execution underneath her belt. So what happened if she turned that into a service? What happened if she turned that into a high level service for high level people in the marketplace? And she charged $100,000 for her service. 6 figures for her service. If you did it for yourself, why can't you do it for somebody else and actually pay what you're worth, charge what you're worth? Chanel knows somebody we know that I gave strategy to literally close a multiple 6-figure deal. Really more than that, but they got a $700,000 check for solving a problem. And once you know how to solve a problem, what you do is you find as many people you can help solve that problem too. And the best way to do that is to find places that have like franchises where you can just sell to the headquarters and they branch it and they sell it to their people. That's called licensing. So some people will buy your copyright. They'll buy and yeah, they'll multiply it. They'll buy your curriculum and pay millions of dollars for it so they could use your curriculum for their teams, for their people, for their schools, whatever it is. But you first have to ask yourself, what am I going to sell? Who am I going to help? And how am I going to help them solve the problem? Everybody in here has homework to do. Brianna, do you know what you're going to sell yet?
Man, what you just said was so powerful. You really got me thinking. I need to sit on it though. Um,
Mm.
the fact that I am an executor, but the way you just put it, I never seen it like that. So yeah, I'm cooking right now, but I think I need to sit on it.
Mm-hmm. 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 All right, y'all. That's homework. I gotta go because I got a live. I gotta go get on now. But I want y'all to sit with this, think about it, and next week we're going to continue. All right, that's y'all homework. Next week, I want you guys to come back to me with answers. Like I have an example. I have an offer in my consulting firm, and it's $30,000, and it's for high level execs, public figures, leaders, and basically we help monetize their structure online, their digital presence, their voice. It is for like celebrities, it's for influencers, it's for founders, it's for high growth brands that are ready for visibility at scale. Um, and we made a infrastructure that is a retainer. And I can either do it in a retainer or I can do it one time. But regardless, what we're doing for the client is we're getting them a result. The result that we're getting them is we're amplifying their voice, and it's a consulting system that I've created. So a lot of people in high places have a problem because I work with a lot of high um moving leaders. Like my archbishop, for example, my spiritual father, and I'll say this, I gotta go. He is so busy. He don't even be on his phone. He don't be on social media. He don't care about none of that. He pays me. My spiritual father pays me every month to just manage his social media pages. He pays me every week to just manage his social media pages. Imagine you had Imagine he's paying me 400 a week to just manage his social media pages, make content for him. Imagine you had 10 people paying you 400 a week. How much is that? 4 bands, right? A week. Some of y'all, let me say this and I gotta go. I really gotta go. Some of y'all making this way harder than it has to be. All I gotta find is 10 more leaders like him. And I would be making what, 12K a month doing easy stuff that I love to do already? This is what y'all got to think about. Y'all talking about y'all need another job. No, you don't. You need to find a solution. So I've worked with so many leaders like my spiritual father who is always busy, never available, don't know nothing about social media, but already has a big name brand. People are looking after them, looking for them. And so I help them with their vision, their voice, and their value. That's what I do with high level leaders. I help them with their vision, their voice, and their value. And I make sure that I'm putting their voice, putting their vision, and putting their value online so that more people can actually understand who they are and what they're about. So this is important. And I can say it clearly like that. And when I get on the call with a lot of these people, they know they busy. They don't even want to get on the call. Half the time they just know what I do and they trust me and they like, just send me the invoice. Right? So that's what I need y'all to figure out this week. Who are you going to help? How are you going to help them? What problem are you helping them solve? And you got it. And the easy part about this is when you're building your solution, your offer, just find people that you know are going through something already that's at a high level that you know they don't mind paying, they have the money. So I want us to work smart and not hard. Smart and not hard. All right, so that's it for tonight. Next week, Wednesday, we'll go through the rest. Everybody will bring their homework. Chanel, tell them the homework before we get off.
So for everyone,
Tell them the homework before we go.
Okay. So our homework is to figure out what service you are going to sell by answering the questions of what am I going to sell? Who am I selling it to? Whatever your specific service is, and you must figure out the problem you want to solve, while making money doing that. So you would also think about the problem you're solving and how. Think about your life, things you've overcome, so that you can help others do the exact same thing.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Chanel. If you could type that in the chat and somebody drop your notes in the chat. And I will see you guys next week, Wednesday, same time. We're back on here. And yeah, I'm about to get on live and pour again. And then after, I'll be on midnight prayer. All right. I love y'all so much. I will see you guys soon, okay?